morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 175 North Elm Street here in Yamhill, located up on the rooftop. Going down a 3-inch ABS roof vent. We're going to try and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We're going to zero out once we get down here to the base, which is right there. Gonna get some cobwebs off the old camera here really quick. I did my darndest and all my usual tricks to hunt down the clean out access. Was not able to. Hence the reason we're going through the vent. That's why. So we're making a turn here. So I'll locate here in a minute. I think the line may actually go out the back of the house. It looks like we just swapped over to concrete there. It looks like 4-inch transite. We'll get a nicer view of this stuff here in a moment when we reel the camera out at the end. But we transitioned into exterior piping materials so quickly that I don't think the line could have gone out the front. A little stringy there. We'll take another look at as we come back out. First glance at that, kind of looks like a cobweb, or a cobweb that fell down. Mass of debris right there. We'll see what's going on in that spot. Shoveling through some gunk out here. My camera's meeting quite a bit of resistance in this location. Right now it's hard to tell what the heck's going on. When we drain the line out at the end, I'm hoping we get a somewhat of a gander at it. Get pretty close to a point here where I'm gonna have to stop though. I'm having to push on this camera much harder than I like to, and it's not a drain cleaning implement, unfortunately. It's alright, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn the water off and see if we can get this thing to drain out and see what's going on. The line may need some cleaning done to it. We shall see. But around 75 feet there is where the camera wants to come to a stop. I'm going to go locate where that's at here in just a second. Alrighty. So I've got probably reasonable idea as to what's going on here. So as you face the front of this house from the street, the line appears to shoot out the back of the home. And then all said and done, it kind of runs down. By the time it reaches the kind of the rear property line area, hits that point, and then starts running straight towards the side street, the street to the left of the home. Right now, if you go kind of near where the there's a street light kind of at the back left corner of the property, where I'm stopped right now is almost between the street light and the 2 water meters that are back here. You'll see a pink flag in the ground. I'm getting around 4 foot 5 inches deep there. I have a sneaking suspicion that we've got roots in the line from the arborvitae. That's my guess anyway. My camera just hits a spot there where it does not want to move, unfortunately. So, anyway, it's likely related to tree roots. Arborvitae are notorious for it. In combination with that, you have older transite pipe here. Concrete pipe in general, whether it's transite or aggregate concrete, does not hold up terribly well to tree roots, especially at relatively shallow depths. So anyway, the best way to do this thing here, get it cleaned. I'm going to see if I can hunt down a clean out access here to make that process a little more convenient. But likely going to need some repair work. It's possible you may have just a simple blockage there, but it feels a lot more stubborn than that. Anyway, I marked that spot there. All said and done, I don't want to necessarily right now go do all the locating. That joint right there looks like it's separated as well. This line will need some level of locating, but until we get a full appraisal of it, I'm not going to map the entire line out right now. Rather see this jetted so we can get all the way out to the main lateral connection and then go from there and see how much of this thing needs updating. But in general, and especially out into the roadway, like we know there's a good likelihood right now that it's going to need at least a spot repair there in the yard, but we still don't know what probably the last. Right now we're sitting a good 20 feet or so from the street edge. I'm not entirely sure yet where the main lateral is. I've been looking all over the place for manholes. Some of these towns out here, they will situate the main laterals off to the side of the road in kind of the right-of-way area, which is an ideal scenario. I don't know if that's the case here. Then most of your repairs are happening under dirt. But up to that point where we are right there, the line is just under grass and dirt, thank goodness. Hope we can catch a clean out access here. I've got a really bad light glare up here on the roof right now. It's hard to see fine detail. At the very least, I'll try and get it marked where the line exits the house. Be our clean out access. I'm gonna go see if I can locate that, and I'll get that marked with a flag as well. And I'm using pink flags. All right, and I did snap some photos. If anyone needs those, I can send them over, but I took a picture of both the flag where the line stops as well as where I marked that. That does appear to be the clean out access from what I can tell here. That's about 2 feet outside the back of the house, right where you would expect a clean out to be. It's in line with the roof vent. It might be on the deeper end. It's 2.5 feet deep to the pipe bottom. The clean out's obviously generally going to be stubbed up higher than that. But I did a bit of poking around there already before even doing locates. Never hit anything, so just be aware it might be down there, you know, 6, 8 inches, even a foot. But I've marked both those with pink flags. So at this point here, I recommend drain cleaning the line, clear the obstruction out of the flow line out there. I'll do some reviewing of the video at home. My camera's coming back with a very, the line's got dirt in it. My camera head right now has a very gritty, sandy texture to it. So the line is exposed to the ground. That's dirt coming back on my camera. So that may very well be the spot that's over there where I don't know where it's all originating from necessarily right now. I saw at least one joint that's very suspect prior to getting to the spot where we stopped up, where the joint looks separated and or exposed to the ground. And these older lines like this, once they get worn out, the joints open up and they can let dirt in. But there's a good chance that dirt is coming off of the spot where I stopped. So I'll try and do some reviewing in better lighting at home to see if I can see through the murkiness of that water to get a little better picture of what's going on there. But At the very least, the line's opened up to the ground there and likely related to tree roots. So as you face the house, that light pole there is at the back left corner of the property. My pink flag is about 8 feet or so to the right of it, right near where the double water meters are over there. And then the clean out, if you come back here, it's directly straight out from this main roof vent. You'll see the pink flag in the ground. So I recommend cleaning and a rescope because of just with the dirt coming back on there, I doubt that's just a simple blockage. It would probably make sense to find a company that does both drain cleaning and repairs, because all said and done here, it looks like you're going to need some repair bids, just for the sake of efficiency. I'm happy to come back out and do a rescope. That just takes one less step out of things, but rescope, see what's going on there. Obviously, repair as needed. We at least have some issues there at that point. And again, I'm going to review the video for some of the spots there that are a little hard to see up here with the light glare from being on the roof. But all said and done, with these older lines like this, especially when they're under just grass and dirt, I rarely recommend just spot repairing them, even though you may have other parts of the line that might be in reasonable condition for their age. When you're not cutting roads open and it's mostly just grass, dirt, and relatively shallow, it makes far more sense to do full updates rather than spot repairs. The other reason for that is when you start digging around old pipe like this and start jarring the ground, digging around it, it's very, very likely after spot repairs are done that you get settling issues in and around where the spot repairs were done, often where new pipe meets old pipe, and it can jar and just mess the soil up that's been compacted around those things for a long time, and you often don't end up with a great result. On top of that, if you do have roots out there, you really do not want to have transition joints next to roots, plastic meeting old transite. They are very, very prone to root intrusions getting through them after the fact. So that's why in these scenarios, I generally recommend fully updating at least a good distance there, getting past those trees and whatnot. That's assuming it's tree roots. Right now, it's kind of an unknown, but that's likely what's going on there. If for some reason I don't come back out to do any rescoping prior to any kind of work being done, make sure if any repairs that do happen, rescoping takes place after trenches are closed. That's if I don't come back and do the rescope. It's very important to do that. That's so you can catch settling problems. If the line's not buried during a rescope, everything you're looking at's in theory until there's weight on top of the sewer line.